Hello everyone, welcome to Aspirants World. Today we are going to discuss about the Chandrayaan 3 mission. It is very prestigious mission to India because after the failure of Chandrayaan 2 mission, India has launched the Chandrayaan 3 by rectifying the mistakes done in the Chandrayaan 2 mission. And this mission was launched by ISRO on July 14th and it is expected to be land on the moon's south pole by August 23rd or 24th. So in this video, we are going to see the in-detail explanation of what are the objectives of this Chandrayaan 3 mission. And first of all, why the Chandrayaan 2 mission was a failure? What is the problem with the Chandrayaan 2 mission? And what are the scientific instruments used in this Chandrayaan 3 mission? And what are the expectations the ISRO has to get from the southern polar region of the moon from this Chandrayaan 3 mission. So let's start the video. First of all, how did the Chandrayaan 2 fail? The ISRO has designed the Chandrayaan 2 to soft land a probe on the moon, but the Vikram lander lost its control 500 meters short of the lunar surface. That means in the Chandrayaan 2, there is a fixation of the lander. The name of that lander is the Vikram lander and it lost that control the 500 meters short of the lunar surface. And there were so many efforts were kept to locate the lander and the lander purpose is it analyzed the moon's terrain and send back that information within the 14 days of time period. This glitch was unexpected because the software was functioning well throughout the trial period. But it is a failure mission because the last minute the software glitch led to the failure of Chandrayaan 2 mission and the Vikram lander the crash landed on the moon surface after its guidance software went wrong. And in this picture, we can even see the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is consoling that time the ISRO chairperson for the failure of this Chandrayaan 2 mission, and he motivated the ISRO chairman and other colleagues of the ISRO to work hard to launch the Chandrayaan 3 mission, and that motivation has inspired the ISRO and it came up again in the 2023 July 14 with one more successful mission, that is the Chandrayaan 3. So what is this Chandrayaan 3? The Chandrayaan 3 is a follow-on mission to Chandrayaan 2 and it demonstrates the end-to-end capability in safe landing and roving on the lunar surface. That means it expected of the safe landing and along with the landing, it even expected the roving on the lunar surface. For this purpose, it contained both the lander and the rover. It has both the lander and the rover and it will be launched by the LVM-3 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. The Chandrayaan 3 mission contained the propulsion module, as the propulsion module contained the lander and the rover configuration, and it expected to launch the Chandrayaan 3 mission till the 100 km of lunar orbit. And this propulsion module has the spectropolarimeter of habitable planet Earth, that is nothing but the shape, payload to study the spectral and polarimetric measurements of the Earth from the lunar orbit. So this propulsion module has made the Chandrayaan 3 mission very successful. And if we see, as we observed in the previous slide, the lander and the rover model, the Chandrayaan mission is all about. So what is the purpose of this lander? This lander has fixed with some of the payloads like the Chandra surface, the thermophysical experiment, and that is nothing but chest A. The purpose of this one is to measure the thermal conductivity and the temperature. It expected to measure this thermal conductivity and the temperature, and it has the instrument for the lunar seismic activity. So whatever is the seismic actions the moon surface has, to measure that seismicity around the moon region, so it has fixed one more instrument, and it contains the Langmuir probe. The purpose of this Langmuir probe is to estimate the plasma density and its variation. So, a passive laser retroreflection array from NASA is also accommodated for lunar laser ranging studies. So, all these equipments like the Chandra Surface Thermophysical Experiment, the instrument for lunar seismic activity instrument, and Langmuir probe were fixed on the lander payloads to measure all these characteristics of moon. Moving forward, as we discussed, it even has the rover payload. The rover payload has the alpha particle X-ray spectrometer, and along with that it even has the laser induced breakdown spectroscope for deriving the elemental composition of the moon. So the rover purpose is to measure what are the elemental composition of the moon, especially on the vicinity of this landing site. So for the better functioning of this rover, it has fixed some of the instruments on the rover. So like the solar panels, the rocker, the rovers, the warm electronics base, the differentials. So in this way, the different type of scientific instruments were used to measure this elemental composition. And the Chandrayaan 3 consists of the indigenous lander module and also the propulsion module, which is very important, and along with that it has the rover with an objective of developing and demonstrating the new technologies required for interplanetary missions. The lander will have the capability to soft land at a specified lunar site and deploy the rover. That means once the lander drops on the lunar surface, it separates the rover from there, and this rover helps to carry out the in-situ chemical analysis of the lunar surface during the course of its mobility. That means after the rover separates from the lander, the rover keep on moves around this lunar surface, and the in-situ analysis of the chemical composition can be done by this rover, and it send back the information to the ISRO center. The lander and rover have scientific payloads to carry out experiments on the lunar surface. The main function of the propulsion module is to carry the lander module from the launch vehicle injection till the final lunar 100-kilometer circular polar orbit and separate the lander module from the propulsion module. Apart from this, propulsion module also one scientific payload. It has the value addition of separating the lander module, and for all this purpose the ISRO has used the GSLV Mk3 satellite launching vehicle, and we have uploaded the satellite launching vehicles in our videos, so please go through that video also if you don't have much idea about what is mean by this satellite launching vehicles, because these are very important for exam. So anyway, and this GSLV Mk3 was utilized for the launching of this Chandrayaan 3 mission, and it was used both the lander module and the propulsion module. So we call it as the integrated module, and it expected to move around in a form of elliptical orbit. So let's observe the picture. So as we have discussed, once this rocket was launched, it orbits in an elliptical sense around the Earth, and later it takes the lunar transfer trajectory projection, and after moving to the lunar orbit insertion, that is the 100 kilometer away from the lunar orbit, Then automatically the propulsion module separates the lander module, and this lander module, after touching the south pole of the moon, then once it touched down, it separates the lander from the rover. Later the rover automatically move around the south pole region, and it done the experiment of the chemical composition of the moon surface. So this is how the Chandrayaan module works. So let's sum up what is the objective of this Chandrayaan 3 by understanding the previous slides. So if we understand the entire summary of this the entire summary in the form of objective, we can say the purpose of this Chandrayaan 3 is to demonstrate the safe and soft landing on the lunar surface. So this is one of the main objective, followed by, as we discussed, it has the rover, it roves on the moon and conduct the in-situ scientific experiments. So this is very important. So overall, the purpose of Chandrayaan 3, it has three objectives: the safe landing, after landing, the separation of rover, and this rover conducts the in-situ experiments, and it gives the chemical composition information back to the ISRO center. This is as simple as that. So this is what is the purpose of Chandrayaan 3. So if we understand further in detail of the payloads and its objectives. So the lander payload contain the radio anatomy of moon-bound hypersensitive ionosphere and atmosphere, that is nothing but the RAMBA. So otherwise it even known as the Langmuir probe. This name we have seen even in the previous slides. Please do remember. So what is the purpose of this Langmuir probe? So this is the questions we can expect in the examination. The Langmuir probe of the Chandrayaan 3 mission objective is to measure the near surface, the plasma density and its changes with time. So the purpose of the installing of this payload is the measurement of plasma density. And the Chandra surface thermophysical experiment, that is CHESTE, so to carry out the measurement of thermal properties of lunar surface near polar region. And the instrument for lunar seismic activity, we have seen all this in the previous previous slide, but I have placed everything at one place so that you can go through what are the objective of all these different instruments. So to measure the seismicity around the landing site and delineating the structure of lunar crust on the mantle, because I think you all have the idea what is the linkage between the seismic activity and the crust and mantle. If you don't have idea, please do read the importance of crust and mantle regarding the seismic activity even on the earth also. Moving ahead, the laser retroreflector array. The purpose of this one is it is a passive experiment to understand the dynamics of the moon system. So in this way, the lander helps to understand the moon surface in different categories. The rover payload, on the other hand, having the laser induced breakdown spectroscope, its objective is the qualitative and quantitative elemental analysis and to derive the chemical composition and infer the mineralogical composition to further understanding of lunar surface. That means the purpose of this one is basically to understand the chemical composition and the mineral composition of the moon surface. Then along with that, it has the alpha particle X-ray spectrometer. Its objective is to determine the elemental composition, basically the magnesium, aluminium, silicon, potassium, calcium, etc. of lunar soil and the rocks around the lunar landing site. So the purpose of the laser induced breakdown spectroscope is the reading of chemical composition and mineral composition. And on the other hand, the alpha particle X-ray spectrometer helps to study the elemental composition of lunar soil and even the rocks in the moon landing site. So as we know, this is very famous for the propulsion module payload. So we have observed in the previous slides also, the propulsion module payload contain the shape, the abbreviation of this one is spectropolarimetry of habitable planet Earth, and the objective of fixing this instrument is to discover the smaller planets in reflected light would allow us to probe into variety of exoplanets which would qualify for habitability. That means any presence of life is there in and around this moon surface in the form of the small planets in the reflected light. So we can get to know even that one also based on this propulsion module payload. So this is how the Chandrayaan 3 mission works and what is the importance of this lander payloads and the rover payloads. What is the importance of this propulsion module payload and why it is important to have that separation of lander and the propulsion module to rectify the mistake of Chandrayaan 2 mission in the Chandrayaan 3 mission. Till now, based on the estimation of the ISRO, the Chandrayaan 3 mission is having the exact expectation of the ISRO scientist to have a safe landing on the moon's southern polar region. So we expect we can get all the details what the scientist has expected from this lunar surface because of this Chandrayaan 3 mission. So this is all about the Chandrayaan 3 mission. Hope you all have enjoyed this video and thank you very much. Please like, comment and share this video and subscribe our channel for further notifications. See you guys in the next video. Have a great day.